Don't worry about the language. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Hey, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. I'm about to go live now, just because I wanted to, go ahead and get this feedback on, or actually do a kind of a reaction video, because a lot of people have been telling me, hey, you got to see this thing about, this Messiah thing coming out on Netflix and all this stuff. Wa alaikum assalam, alaikum click. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me do this reaction thing, or let me do this whole thing live. So I decided to do it, as a live thing. So I'm gonna, let people join in the live chat here, and then we'll go ahead and do the reaction to this whole new thing, Messiah. Let me drink some of my lemonade here. So I don't know how many of you have already seen this. I may be late to this or not, but I better late than never, right? So if you've already seen it, if you have your opinions on it, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Comment in the live chat if you're tuning in. Make sure you spread the word. I put it out on Twitter that I'm going live, and I know it's kind of a last minute thing. I'm going to try to maybe schedule things around Wednesday. I think from now on, I think I'm going to try to put that in my schedule. I think Wednesday works out. Well, yeah, I know that, Messiah hasn't been out. It's not out yet. It's releasing in 2020, but I think the trailer's been out for a while. And I think a lot of people have done their reaction to it and whatnot. So I thought, I'm probably late for that, but better late than never, right? Us old people need some time to come in and figure everything out first and make time and all that stuff, work being crazy and family life and all that stuff. And plus I've been down with this nasty flu for a little while. I don't know how many of you guys have had that issue, but I went to Chicago to visit my family. The kids got me sick, and I come back on, and my throat was really dry. And then the next morning I wake up and I've got this nasty cough, like bronchitis almost, and nasal fluid, and then it's just really, really bad. I got a fever, and I had to call off work for a couple of days, and I never get sick like that. Alhamdulillah, usually I don't get sick like that at all. And even now, I got over it pretty well. I know some coworkers that have been out for 2 weeks due to this flu. So it's a nasty bug going out there. And I think we kind of got an early start this winter season. Speaking of winter, I'm in the Northeast, in Western Buffalo, and we got a crap ton of snow today. I had to go out to some company meeting in the morning. We have these departmental meetings and things like that. So I went out there, and around 9 a.m., the snow was just coming down. It was snow everywhere, faster than the snow plows could actually get it done. And then the sun is coming up. It's really bright in your face, and there's wind gusts of up to 40 miles an hour, and it was like a blizzard. And but by noon, it was done. It was pretty much gone, but it just came down all of a sudden. So I think we've got some nasty weather coming up on the Northeast. Not sure about, all the way in New York and around the coastline, around the Atlantic, but definitely up by the Great Lakes. You're getting in the Midwest and up there. So, alaikum assalam, Amr Sahi. Welcome to the podcast, or welcome to the show. For those of you just tuning in now, I'm going to be doing a version of my reaction video to this whole new Messiah thing. I don't know what you guys feel about that, but apparently it's been this big thing, and a lot of Muslims are complaining about this and saying, oh, well, there's this Messiah thing coming out, and, it's supposed to be a big deal. So, without further ado, I think I'm going to go ahead and let's do the, the viewing, I guess you could say, of it. Let me know if the audio is okay, because I really don't do this that often, and I do want to get in the mode of doing reaction videos, or start doing those more often, but I haven't had a chance to do one. So this is going to be a first time, a MuzzyBuzz first, to actually have a reaction video and watch the video on the secondary screen with audio. So hopefully I set that up right, and hopefully it comes out well for everybody else. So let's go ahead and see if you guys can watch the screen. I think it should work. It should be working. I don't know if those of you are in text, that hopefully it is working. You guys could, let me know. But anywho, I'm going to go ahead and play this right now and take a look at this. Let's go. It's about 2 minutes, so I'll try to be quiet during the clip because, I have a big motor mouth and people sometimes get annoyed. So let me see if I can be quiet while this is going on, but if I have to, then I'll interject. Anyways, let's go. Messiah Season 1 official trailer, Netflix.
He's come out of nowhere and we don't know who he is.
What do we know about him?
Oh, wow.
He's leading desperate people.
So this is a cult?
We don't know who he's associated with. He could be creating an army. Or he could be leading them to their death.
Wait, hold on. Did you guys see that? Right when she said death, right? Look at this. Let's go back. She says leading them to their death, and the first thing they show is like some Muslim guy in an imamiyah.
Leading them to their death.
Look at that. It's like some guy just says he's about to say Allahu Akbar. Wow, that wasn't timed at all. Anyways, let's continue. Maybe that's just me being overcritical.
What are you doing in Syria?
Delivering a message.
A message for whom?
My father.
And who is your father?
We've lost it.
What do you mean?
He just disappears.
No one just disappears.
We all witnessed a miracle.
He saved my daughter's life.
You need to see this.
Bury it for as long as you can.
So real quickly, they're trying to make him be like some kind of apocalyptic figure, I'm assuming, like, the Messiah, I'm assuming. But apparently, like, he's saving a town, I think, I'm assuming. But it's funny how they have a cross here. The guy definitely looks like Middle Eastern or foreigner. Maybe he definitely could pass for a Pakistani or Indian, but he definitely looks foreign, not a typical Anglo-Saxon Protestant, good old, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Definitely different. So I'm assuming that's going to come with something a little bit negative, but let's continue.
He didn't just click his heels and end up here. He clearly had help. You get around Syria, Israel, Texas.
It's the nature of my work.
And what is that work?
God's work.
Who do you think he is?
You didn't see what I saw.
And if I did, would I be calling him the second coming?
How far will this new movement spread?
I'm going to find out everything about you.
This is bigger than what you can imagine.
Okay, well, it looks like wow. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, Netflix quality is on point, of course. I think maybe that's one of the things that'll draw people inside. But as far as the content, it looks like it's going to be something that's going to be anti-Muslim again. I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but it looks like, because they're kind of like a Middle Eastern guy, long hair. They show Al-Aqsa, they show an angry Muslim guy with a kafiyah or imam on his head. And they're like, oh, is he, a con man, or is he saving them? You know what I mean? Like a lot of different things. So I'm not sure if that's actually going to be a positive thing. So Maliki Click, alaikum assalam SK. Maliki Click is telling me that the actor's name is Mehdi. Mehdi is his name, so that's really interesting. So you have a Muslim guy, or allegedly a Muslim guy. So so Yeah, I mean, apparently a Muslim guy named Mehdi playing Al Mahdi. I mean, or is it going to be Al Masih Al Dajjal? I mean, I feel like they're trying to make him like the Antichrist, right? And say, oh, look, the Muslims are coming and they're coming out, and you know, look, you know, they're trying to deceive people, and the Holy Land. You guys get that same gist that I got? Like the Holy Land, and I'm gonna find everything out about what they're doing, and blah blah blah blah blah, right? I mean, did you see that? Like, let me see if I can go back to that one portion where she's like, I'm gonna try to find out everything that's going on or something. There was one portion of that where she's like, I'm gonna go back and find out what's going on. I think it was right here.
I'm going to find out everything.
Whoops, hold on. Let me go back here to the desktop, and I think it was like right here.
Everything about you. I'm going to find out everything about you.
Yeah, you see that? I'm gonna find out everything about you, and then they show Al-Aqsa and they show them Arabic writing and all that kind of stuff, right? A little dodgy to me, right? You're not fooling me, Hollywood. I know what you're up to, Hollywood. You're not fooling this Muzzy over here. I know what you're trying to do, right? I mean, I think most people who have grown up in America or in the Western world kind of know they're never really going to portray Muslims in a positive light. Very rarely do they do that. So I think we probably all guessed that by now. It's a Christian narrative. Okay, Abdul Malik Click says it's a Christian narrative that says Mehdi is the Christian our Mehdi is the Antichrist. Well, look, let's talk about that for a moment. I mean, in reality, it might be their Antichrist. I mean, he's gonna come and break their cross and kill the swine and, you know, destroy the idea of the Trinity. So in that case, I mean, yeah, I mean, he's going to abolish paganism, so I mean, in that sense, maybe they might be correct that, hey, he's definitely. I mean, our version of Al-Mahdi is definitely not going to be on their side. Right, he's going to come to we believe that he's going to come and correct all the beliefs that are the wrong beliefs, right, and kind of destroy this idea and dismantle this idea of a Trinity and excuse me, of Sayyidina Isa being a god, right? He's going to dispel all that myth and say, no, look, I am a messenger of God, and I'm here to set the record straight, and he will end up coming to destroy the Antichrist. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I bet you what they're going to do is they're going to try to show you how evil this man is. Like, they're going to show you that, oh, you know what? The Muslim guys, the Messiah version of the Muslims or whatever, is going to be a trickster. He's going to play games with you. He's going to deceive you. He's going to do miracles in front of you and then deceive you, right? Yes, exactly, Maliki. This movie is, and the funny thing is that when Al-Mahdi comes, we don't believe he's going to come with miracles. Like, he's not going to do anything like miraculous, right? That's the funny part. Like, that's the Antichrist, right? The Antichrist who will come, Al-Masih Al-Dajjal will come and try to say, you know what? Look at these miracles I can do, right? I can give you Jannah or I can give you Nar. I can raise you from the dead. I can cut you into pieces. I can destroy you and bring you back, right? They will think, either this man is a god or he is from God, right? So in fact, it will be the Antichrist that has all of these so-called miracles as they want to paint it out to be. But the Muslims don't believe that it's going to happen that way. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be very interesting, but I think that that Christians that are sincere in understanding the prophecies, when Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam and Al-Mahdi come back, when Sayyidina Isa comes back and Al-Mahdi comes, it will be very, very, very obvious to them, like that, oh my God, it'll click like a light bulb. Like, oh my God, I've been wrong the whole time. Like, I've been extremely wrong the whole time. It's kind of like when a non-Muslim reads the Quran for the first time and then kind of, when Allah guides him and he sees like the message of Tawheed in the Quran, it goes off like a light switch. Like, once you see it, you can't unsee it, right? You can't be like, oh, forget about the truth. I don't care about it anymore. And this is only after Allah wants to guide you, right? But I think for the good people, this is like that last opportunity, right? They're going to see Masih ibn Maryam, and they're going to say, oh my God, you know what? Like, how could I have been in error the whole time? Like, this makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, he's telling me he's definitely the Messiah. He's coming, and he's going to be like, you know what? It's right. There's no such thing as a cross. I never believed it. It was always sketchy to me, but now you confirmed it, you know? And then there'll be the hardcore ones that I believe. I can hear that I'm still sick, unfortunately, but trooping through. But yeah, then you'll have a hardcore like Christian Zionist that'll be like, no, never, hell no, you can't be real. You're a socialist. You're a commie bastard. You're this. I mean, they will be totally against Sayyidina Isa. Like, they will, completely be against him. And that's probably what the Christian Zionists are going to be, right? They're going to be very anti-Islam, very anti-prophecy. They have their own version where they believe that Jesus will come back down, take them to Israel. There'll be like little butterflies floating around watching Jesus convert like 1/3 of the Jews and then kill 2/3 of the Jews in Jerusalem. So, I mean, I don't know, but I think one thing we can say that for sure is that the Christian version of the Messiah and the Muslim version of the Messiah are not that alike in terms of what the overall message is. But here's the thing. I was talking to some Christians lately, Roman Catholics, and they were saying, listen, this idea, this Protestant evangelical idea of Jesus coming back and converting people in a Holy Land is really only a modern invention. They believe the book of Revelations and all these things, this was a message to Christians of that time about the events that would happen right after Jesus left. It wasn't a foretelling of the future. So they even, I think Orthodox and Roman Catholics, they reject the idea of Jesus coming back and forcefully converting all these people. They believe Jesus will come back, but not in that way, meaning he'll come down in all his glory as a God or whatever it may be, but not in the violent way that some of these Protestant Christians, right? I keep saying white Anglo-Saxon Protestant because I'm thinking of a wasp, but the Protestant version, which is most of Europe and mostly America now, the evangelicals, right? Europe is kind of phased out of it, but it's like American kind of Christianity now, where it's like the Baptist and like Protestants, and they're the ones who really believe in that now. But I mean, it's who knows? I mean, what they deep down believe. I mean, I think a lot of it is politically motivated, because I believe if you go back to I think 30 years before Theodor Herzl, there was a group out in actually out this way. And it was called the Niagara Bible Conference. And they used to be right here at the Niagara-on-the-Lakes, which is right there up in Ontario. And a bunch of Christians would come together, and they believed that Jesus would come back after the Jews went back to the homeland. So they pretty much started like Christian Zionism, or Zionism about 30, 40 years before Theodor Herzl, which is kind of interesting. We could probably pull that up. You know what? Let me see if I can do that. I want to see if I can pull that up. See if I can. You know what? Let me just switch to the desktop here. Let's do that. You're going to watch more Google Live here, right? Niagara Bible Conference. Oh, there we go. Here. So let's go to Wikipedia real quick. Niagara Bible Conference, officially called the Believers Meeting and Bible Study, was held annually from 1876 to 1897, with the exception of 1884. In the first few years, it met in different resort locations around the United States. Starting in 1883, it was held in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, in the Queen's Royal Hotel and its pavilion. The driving force behind the meeting was James H. Brooks, a Presbyterian minister from St. Louis. Brooks publicized the meeting through the magazine The Truth and devoted substantial space to summaries of the speeches. A typical example is his report from 1882, which describes the meeting as more largely attended than ever before. Often every seat in the pavilion was occupied and the porches were filled with eager hearers of the word. The place too becomes more beautiful as the years go by, and it would be difficult to find a spot better suited. The quiet and prayerful study of the sacred scriptures, the building in which the conference meets overlooking the Lake Ontario and the River Niagara, and surrounded by green trees, is secluded from the noise of the world, and so excellent were the arrangements for the accommodation of the guests, both in Queen's Royal Hotel and in the boarding houses of the village, that not a word of complaint was heard from anyone. Okay, so there you go. Most of the speakers were, they at the Niagara conference were introduced by many evangelical Protestants to the pensionalist teaching, whatever that is. The message generally centered on the doctrines of Christ, the Holy Spirit, in the Bible, missions, and prophecy. Okay. Wow, interesting. So yeah, apparently at this conference is where they used to actually essentially have their their meetings to have this like idea that the prophecy that Jesus will come back and when all the Jews go back to the Holy Land. So interesting nonetheless. But maybe you guys could comment down below. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I'm a little bit off here in the dates. If I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me and let me know what you guys think. But nonetheless, it's interesting to note that in 2020, they're ushering in a new decade with this whole Messiah thing, right? Oh my God, the Messiah is coming, end of times, prophecies, right? And Netflix is trying to appeal to a broad audience of people. And, generally, the one thing about the end time things and like prophecies is that it kind of appeals to people who are religious, non-religious, and even a-religious, meaning that, hey, there's always going to be some kind of secret society or some unifying figure or some divisive figure who's going to come, right? Everybody kind of gravitates towards some of that. Isn't that kind of interesting, where even you'll find atheists who are like, oh, like deep state and Bilderberger and, New World Order and all this kind of stuff, right? It may not be like, essentially, a powerful figure or a divine figure, but it's always something, right? Someone has some control, there's some agenda, there's some underlying force behind all these changes in the world, right? And so I think they're really able to grab it or captivate that audience, right? The Jesus freak, Malachi Click says the Jesus freaks are going to take this movie and run with it like it's a zombie apocalypse. So, yes. Well, the funny thing is that I don't think it's going to be a movie. I think it's actually a series. I think they're doing a whole, and that's the most interesting part. Like, it's going to be a whole year-long thing, I think. And how long will they keep it up? I mean, like, and even for us Muslims, like, there's a lot of signs that have happened, right? Like, there are a lot of things that have already happened so far, and that, a lot of Muslims are also jumping on this bandwagon. Oh my God, the end of the world is coming. Al-Mahdi is coming. Look at this. Look what they're doing. Oh my God, right? I think Muslims need to take a step back, right? No movie and no random producer is going to force, al-yawm al-qiyamah on us or al-malhama on us, right? Allah doesn't need Hollywood to force him to make a decision, right? Whatever is written, no matter what is going to happen, right? No matter who comes out with a movie or does something or does nothing. Everything is already written, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Muslim filmmakers are too busy making movies about how Muslims are cool, right? How they're dating, how they're, like Rami, right? Where they're just, out there trying to bang people, and lose their virginity. They're not making movies about actual how Muslims really, the accurate cross-section of, stuff that Muslims would actually listen to. Right. My man Baba Ali, though, is in some new film that is about to come out soon. I don't know what the name of it is, but it's going to be a halal film, obviously. So big shout out to Baba Ali. Can't wait for that to come out. Maybe when I get the details, I'll do a show on it and we'll talk about it. But yeah, I mean, there's Muslim representation in media, in social media, is very, very low. And when it's there, it's usually very liberal, right? It's really on the opposite end. It's kind of what the leftists want to have out there, right? Whether they are, making fun of traditional Islamic traditions, or they're very open into the leftist ideas, right? The traditional Muslim view in mainstream media is not really there. And to be fair, that also applies to, the Christian conservatives and even Jewish conservatives, right? There's not really much out there for them. They really have to make their own stuff. But, this movie or series was actually brought up by Netflix. And Netflix is kind of like an indie thing, right? If you can prove to them that you have good production quality and you can get a following, then they will probably, release your series. Like, for example, Ertugrul was on Netflix. Oh, we can't forget about that. Ertugrul was a very good show. I mean, it made a lot of people change, There were some Muslims some Mexicans that convert to Islam because of that, apparently. I don't know if you guys saw that, but some Mexican couple converted at the hands of, what's his face? Was it Abdurrahman Alp? I don't know his real name. Hold on, let me see if I can find the clip. Let me see if I can find the clip on YouTube. Maybe we can watch that together. No, I don't know what the clip is. Sorry, maybe if one of you guys have that. Oh, I found it in some foreign language. I don't know why. Hold on. Mexican couple convert to Islam after, let me refine this, after watching Turkish series. Let's do that. Okay, I don't know why I'm getting all these multiple languages. Like in Urdu and other things. You know what? Let me, I think I found it. Hold on. Yeah, let me go to the desktop. Here we go. Watch this.
Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah ve eşhedü enne Muhammeden abduhu ve rasulü.
MashaAllah. Now you're a Muslim. MashaAllah.
Wow.
Biggest fans, Mr. Arturo and Veronica, Mexican couples, cute couple, MashaAllah. And they are becoming Muslims right here in mass convention.
Abduhu ve rasulü.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. They said that they start loving Islam through the Quran translation in Spanish and in English.
İngiliz Kur'an-ı Kerim. Müslüman oldular artık Allah'ın izniyle, Meksikalı aile. Biz de Kur'an-ı Kerim'i kendi diliyle ikram ediyoruz inşallah.
Elhamdülillah. Maşallah. Maşallah.
Eyvallah. Bismillah.
And isn't that pretty cool, guys, right? Like how, I mean, that's pretty awesome, right? You could tell like Abdurrahman Alp, Jalal Ali, he's, I think his name is Jalal Ali, I think his name is, but the thing is, he's really like passionate about what he believes in, like, and I think that's why his role in the show actually captivated a lot of people, because he was genuinely passionate about what he believed in, and I think he also influenced other people on the show, like people like maybe Dogan Alp and other people like that. So, he's also, I apparently heard he's also a really part of the Turkish military as well too. Like he actually is an active serviceman of the military in Turkey. So that's also another interesting thing. But hey, I mean, this is an example of what positive Muslim media can do, right? I mean, imagine two people with different parts of the world don't even speak the same language. Even right here, one speaks Spanish, one speaks Turkish, then the Turkish guy is giving the Shahada in Arabic to Hispanic people who are then reciting it back to him and they become Muslim, all because of one show, right? And that is the influence that media has. And of course, Allah Azza wa Jal guided them, of course, first and foremost. But I mean, Allah used this show as a vehicle to show people what Islam is and how and to make them curious about it, right? So, I mean, it's a wonderful example of how Muslims can use the tools at their disposal to do good work and to make entertaining, quality shows that are entertaining and also useful for people, right? So Malikly Click types, yeah, man, imagine if they want the show about the last Ottoman Khalifa Abdul Hamid. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, that would be an interesting thing as well, too. I mean, there could be a whole series done just on lost Islamic history, right? In general, just real history, not even like, stuff that was added on to. I'm talking about just real Islamic history. Is pretty amazing. Like how the Muslims defeated the Persians and, just facing Rome and little ideas like that, like even facing the Mongols, like Muzaffar Qutus and, the area of the time of the Mamalik as well too, right? At some point, the Mamalik and the Ottomans also had a interior, strife, but they were able to figure that out as well too later on. But all these things are amazing, and I think our history is pretty awesome. And unfortunately, it's been blindsided by, it's funny how they talk about, Greco-Roman society, Persians, before Islam, and then they kind of skip all of Islam and then go to like, the European Dark Ages, right? Spain and the British Empire and the Portuguese and the Dutch and right. But you don't hear anything with the Ottoman. I remember being in high school. There was literally one page about the Ottoman Empire. One page, like almost a 800-year history of the Ottoman Empire. And there was like, one page about that. But they went on and on and on about, the British Empire and the Dutch Empire and the Portuguese Empire, all these different empires. What are you going to do? That's why it's important for Muslims to speak their mind, influence on social media, write things, be involved, don't hold back, make sure you put your influence out there. Allah has given each and every one of you guys a talent, right? So, make use of it, take advantage of it, right? But anyways, I think that's about it. I mean, we did the reaction. Let me know what you guys think about this show. Comment down below, on the show, The Messiah. Let me know what you guys think. Am I overdoing it? Do I think that, am I, prematurely judging the show? And, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm totally off on here. Maybe it's going to be a good show that actually shows Muslims in a positive light. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, or let me know if you totally agree. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I watch those shows on Historical Fun TV, Malikly Click. I actually do subscribe and pay for that just because I don't want to have, I didn't know before. I didn't want drama. I just wanted to have the episode released every time and be consistent. So I support the brothers that are, that are putting in the time to translate, and so I appreciate him. But yeah, I mean, that's great. Apparently, Malikly Click has a link here, kaifamily.com. You guys can check that out if you want to watch the Ertugrul or the new Kurulus Usman show. But anyways, that is it for right now. That has been the reaction of this new Messiah series on Netflix. So comment down below. Let me know what other videos you want me to react to, if there are any other things that you want me to. I'm sorry I've gotten back to some of you guys late. Some of you guys have been hitting me up on Curious Cat. I'm trying to get back to all the questions. I can't get to all of them right now. You guys have been hitting me up on Facebook wondering where I am. I've just been busy and kind of sick a little bit.